Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on Cluiche with me, Seamus, Brady, your host. And for this video, we are going to run through the two Camogie fixtures which happened over the weekend in Group 2's Round 2. So of course, the other groups, they had their Round 2. Group 2 was left out of that weekend's action, but they had their Round 2, this weekend. And I'm going to talk about the two games which took place. Kilkenny against Dublin and Tipperary against Wexford. But before we do, please like, subscribe, share, and comment, all that good stuff. And yeah, let's get into the action. So obviously, there was the sit-down protests at these games. The players saying that they are playing the championship under protest. And there will be a full video coming here on Cluiche talking about all of that. And do make sure that you check that out. That video will go more into depth on the whole situation. Obviously, I'm fully behind the players on this, but this video will go more in depth on the situation as it stands right now. But let's talk about the two Camogie matches which did take place over this weekend from Group 2's Round 2. Starting off with Kilkenny versus Dublin in Parnell Park. My Dublin didn't get on great in this game, losing to Kilkenny 3-14 to 11 points. That being said, Dublin did show an awful lot of fight in this game. Kilkenny just had that kind of like Cobra-like patience, as in they just waited to strike. And when they did, they picked their moment and they really buried it. And I will get on to the key moment. It has something to do with a 20-meter free from one and only Denise Gall. So Dublin had the win in the first half, and they really used this to their advantage. Aisling O'Neill pointed from the first attack, to which Denise Gall responded with her first score. She ended up with 1-9 in the game. The teams were level 4 times in the first 8 minutes. Then midway through the first half is when Kilkenny struck. 2 quick goals as the Cats hit 2-4 without reply. Aoife Prendergast and Katie Nolan supplied the goals. Now, Ash Lamar and Aisling Gannon got 3 scores between them before half-time to steady the ship a wee bit, but Dublin still went in behind by 2-10 to 7 points at half-time. Now, in the second half, Dublin came out fighting as you would have expected, but Kilkenny chose their moment again, as I was saying. They got a 20-meter free, and Denise Gall went for goal and buried it, and that was pretty much right on the restart. So Dublin got a sucker punch right on the restart. For the rest of the game, both of the teams hit 4 points each, but Kilkenny, as I said, were that bit more clever, that bit more cunning, and managed to just stay that bit ahead of Dublin. And, to be fair, went on to get a bit of a comfortable victory. Now Dublin are walking into a bit of an ominous situation because, look, we are pretty much out. There is no way we can come back from this. Wexford got a draw against Kilkenny in the last round of fixtures in round 1 of Group 2. And now, given that Wexford lost to Tipperary quite handsomely, Wexford need to beat Dublin comprehensively and also need to hope that Tipperary beat Kilkenny comprehensively. So for Dublin, next week could be dangerous because Wexford will be looking to put a big victory on Dublin. And I hope that we can hold out for it. But yeah, let's talk about the other game, which did get Wexford into that situation where they need a big victory. That was where they got defeated by Tipperary, 3-15 to 12 points in Bellefield. So they had home advantage, but Tipperary did not care about that. So as I said, after this result, Wexford need a comprehensive win over Dublin and need Tipperary to soundly beat Kilkenny, something that is very unlikely to happen. Kilkenny are the top dogs for a reason. Like, that just is the truth of it. For the second game in a row, Colin Sunderland's Wexford left themselves a mountain to climb. The previous game against Kilkenny, they'd left themselves 10 points down, but they managed to somehow level the game and get a draw. But they could not do the same thing now. Koch Devan struck an early goal for Tipperary to give them a turbo boost into the lead. Grace O'Brien, Teresa Ryan and Karen Blair all raised white flags for Tip. And then in the 12th minute, Teresa Ryan hit Tipperary's second goal. They went in 2-10 to 8 points ahead at halftime. Now in the second half, the quality of the game, the intensity of the game, and the frequency of the scores did drop off. But in the 60th minute, Roisin Howard bagged Tipperary's third goal to finish Wexford off. Koch Devan topped off the game with a brace to leave it 3-15 to 12 points at the end of the game. Now, that is a fantastic victory for Tipperary. Given the fact that now they've put back-to-back wins over Dublin and Wexford, they are proving that they are that step above those teams, in my opinion. Themselves and Waterford are the closest teams to breaking the triangle of Galway, Cork, and of course Kilkenny. And it will be fascinating to see how they get on against Kilkenny, because I actually really do think that they actually can break that glass ceiling and be All-Ireland contenders this year. They really have turned a corner, in my opinion. But yeah, that is the recap of Group 2's Round 2 of the Camogie Championship 2023, guys. Do let me know what you made of the games in the comments below. And until the next one, guys, here on Cluiche, take care.